Hey, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're sitting with me in Kana's Corner, and I have a guest today, Rachel Robinson, who is the voice of Fang from Final Fantasy XIII. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really proud to be here, so to speak.
Now, we were talking kind of in the background about, out of everybody, your name was like the last to appear, and from what I know, you're a very, big part of the Final Fantasy team.
Uh-huh. Well, it's I was I have not really done that much work in video games. This is kind of my first big outing in a video game, so I wasn't really already widely known in these circles. So I know there's some speculation that there were some other people, and they were very, very hush hush. They were very clear about the NDA, so nobody was really allowed to say anything. I was waiting and waiting and waiting to be able to finally put my name in there. So it's a good relief. It's a huge relief to be able to finally say that was me because I'm really proud of the work.
Now, we found out from Allie that you guys, I think you started recording almost about a year ago, so you've probably been containing that excitement forever.
Yeah, we started. Well, at least I started at the end of May, and when I was told, I said, well, and I knew that the game had already been in production for several years already. I thought, oh gosh, so this probably isn't going to be out until 2010. How am I going to wait that long? But you somehow make it through.
Now, was this audition like any other? How did you find yourself, going for a Final Fantasy game?
It came through my agent. They send me all kinds of things. They send me animation, they send me commercials, they send me narration. This was just one of the things that they sent me. And a few weeks later, I got the call, and they said, you're on a veil. And I said, awesome. And I try not to get too excited about any one thing because, you don't want to be disappointed. And then when I got the call that said, okay, you're in, I was pretty much freaking out because I knew this was going to be a nice, long job and tons of fun. And it was better than anything I could have expected. The people I worked with were great. The work was fun. It was challenging. It was hard. I felt like I got to know these people, not just the people who were working on it, but these characters.
Oh, definitely. We've heard throughout the two interviews that we had with Troy Baker and Allie that when everybody sort of met finally, it was like they were meeting the characters.
Yeah, I felt like I was kind of meeting parts of my family. I thought I've been working and fighting and running around and saving the world with these characters for so long. I really had to meet the face behind them. So it was very cool. We all kind of shared a special thing together.
Now, when did it sort of hit you that Final Fantasy was such a big game and a big franchise?
It was probably a couple weeks in after I'd been recording for a while, and I mean, I'd been aware of the movie. I'm not a huge gamer. I think I was more, I was really happy the day I conquered Super Mario Brothers 2. This is a long time ago. But then I started doing the research, and they said we cannot reiterate enough how huge this game is going to be. And I said, well, the fact that there's 13 tells me that obviously the franchise is extremely popular and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I started to do the research, and I thought, wow, this, place is kind of shut down when this game comes out. But it's impossible to even really imagine until it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, I'm still learning how big it is, to be honest.
Oh, well, no, that's natural, I think. And maybe, possibly, if they give you a copy of the game, or if you get a copy of the game, you'll have a chance to play it and become a gamer like all of us.
That would be awesome. Here's the thing: is that it's not that I don't like gaming. I've just I've been focused on other things, and I'm dying to play the game. I mean, first of all, when I walked in and I saw the graphics, I mean, they're stunning. The animation is absolutely gorgeous, and it's really hard not to get lost in that world. So not only is it fun to play any games anyway, but then you're so part of this amazing, practically 3D world that how could you not love it? So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing.
Yeah, one thing that Square Enix is always very good at is their animation and their graphics. And did you get to see any of that recording in the booth?
Yeah, I did a lot of reading the picture because the Japanese dialogue had been recorded first. So we were kind of looking at that for tone. So I did get to see a lot of the cutscenes while I was recording, and it was beautiful. So that was a big help also.
Now, I don't want to spoil anything because I know that Fang does not appear for a while, but is there anything you can tell our listeners about your character?
Well, she has a few secrets of her own, and she's probably not as tough as she lets on. But everybody's got up their reasons for doing things, and nobody is really what they seem. I think that's about what I could say.
Understandable. Did you relate to her in any way or fashion?
Um, I really related to her bravery, or I should say, I'd like to aspire to her bravery, although we don't live on Pulse or Grand Pulse or Cocoon or anything like that. But she's fearless. I admire how fearless she is, but I also admire her loyalty. And when she sets her mind to do something, she does it, and often makes sacrifices for herself. She's not a selfish character.
She doesn't seem that way so far, but I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil anybody, and I've only seen a little snippet, so it's not my place to judge.
Well, of course, and she's also got some good one-liners. She's kind of, she also does her own thing. So, pretty much nothing that comes out of her mouth is going to be really generic. But, from what I can tell, even though she seems angry, she does have a lot of fun, too.
Now, talking to you right here, I noticed that Fang has a sort of more apparent accent. Was that something that's just natural, or was that something they asked you to do?
That was indicated in the script that they wanted when I first read for it. They were looking for an Australian accent. So I thought, okay, that'll be fun. So there was not only the challenge of creating this this real character with all her emotions and human qualities, but also sustaining that accent. But as the game went on, I thought this really, really fits for her. It just seems to make sense.
I was always wondering about that because, I know that both the character Vanille and Fang have accents, but I wasn't sure exactly how they fit in the game as of yet. If that was the voice actor or if that was, Square Enix. So that's good to actually know. I think a lot of our fans will be interested in that.
Well, and also because their names, they both start with Erba, which would lead me to believe they definitely come from the same village. So I guess maybe in that world that's the same as Australia. I don't know where they came up with that, but I think it really suits them.
And now it seems that the game is very dramatic. Did that affect any of the acting or anything, or did that just make you become a better actress?
So can you repeat that?
It seems that the game to me is very dramatic.
Uh-huh.
Did that affect the work? Did it make it more difficult, or do you think that brought the best out in your acting ability?
I definitely think. Well, there's a whole gamut of emotions that you're required to play here. This is probably, as far as any voiceover work I've ever done, probably the hardest acting I've ever had to do. It was really, really challenging, and not in a bad way. Because look at the scenarios these characters are thrust into. They're about to die at any given time, or seeming to, or they're in a fight, or they're dealing with tremendous loss, they're dealing with pain, or they're dealing with something really fun. And because I got to play her for so long, there was a lot more that I got to do with her. There were definitely some tougher scenes where I had to scream, and my voice kind of lives down here, as you can hear. So screaming doesn't really come that easily to me. So I definitely found myself having to push a lot harder. But it's really gratifying because you find that you can go places you didn't realize you could go.
Oh no.
Especially when you start to feel so connected to that character too. You feel like she becomes a part of you.
That's really understandable, and actually I think that's very neat. But at the moment, we're going to take a very short break. So everybody out there, keep it
Okay.
tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want, nothing you don't. Ever wonder what's going on in the anime world? Check out 918 The Fan every weekday for the newest iStock. We'll fill you in on everything you need to know in 3 minutes or less. Only on 918thefan.com. Hey everybody, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan, and you're sitting in Kana's Corner. And I haven't chased away your special guest yet, asking them everything about their characters, so don't worry. We were actually having a lot of fun talking behind the scenes without you guys. Sorry, you just suck. I apologize.
Do that.
No, I'm kidding. We were actually talking about your other projects. Could you enlighten us a little bit on that?
Sure. I just finished a one-day gig on another video game. I'm not really allowed to say what it is, but it is also based on, it's another franchise, a TV franchise, and it's not quite as long as Final Fantasy, but it's been around for a few years, and I did a voice match for that, so I'm looking forward to that when it comes out. As far as recent projects, I did a piece, an online comic book as a companion piece to Dead Space. And those are available on YouTube. My character is Vera Cortez, and there's 3 episodes of that I'm in.
Oh,
So
that's
like I
very
said,
neat.
it wasn't actually in the game, but it was the online comic book, so it's very gestural. It's almost like an animated storyboard. I did an episode of Celebrity Deathmatch a few years ago, which I believe is still viewable on MTV2.com. I played Pamela Anderson and Vern Troyer, although not at the same time, of course, and they're not fighting each other. What else? There was, a film called Universal Remote, which never made it to theaters, but is available on DVD. And there's an animated section in the middle called That Darn Jesus, and I play Mary, Mother of Jesus.
That's,
So,
that's really cool, and I hope that you get more work after Final Fantasy. I mean, the more work you get, the more the fans can, fanboy over you.
absolutely. Well, and you know what? I will say this is by far the most fun and awesome and challenging job that I've ever had. It'll definitely go down. Even for jobs in the future, I'll say this was amazing. This was a fantastic experience, and this will still be a landmark for me, no matter how long I do this job. So I was really, really proud to be part of it, and I'm psyched for it, and I hope everybody out there loves it.
Well, no, I already love the game as it is, and I think a lot of our fans will tell us what they think since a little bit later we're giving away another Final Fantasy 13, so they'll be excited
Awesome.
about that. Yes. I'm curious though because anime and the gaming industry are so sort of tied together. Have you sought out any interest to go to any anime conventions or anything like that, or gaming conventions?
Absolutely. I think I'm definitely putting more of those on my radar because just having done this game, it's a smart thing to do more research, of course, and start making myself more visible. Start checking more of these things out because, like you say, it's all tied together, and I would love to be part of more projects of this nature.
I mean, I think the fans would love to interact with you at a convention. So if you ever have any that you're going to, perhaps you can let us know, and we'll let the fans know.
Well, I've been going to Comic-Con for the last few years, so I'm hoping to be at it this year.
Oh, very awesome. Well, we will make sure to promote that and pimp that out.
Excellent.
Now, I was wondering, do you have any websites where our fans can sort of follow what's coming up?
Well, my main website is Rachel, RACHEL dash Robinson, ROBINSON.com. It does need a little updating, but it's got some stuff on there. You can, like I said, you can access the Dead Space videos on YouTube. And, there's my IMDb page. I'm Rachel Robinson 4, because there's a lot of us. There's definitely a lot of us.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that. And is there anything else you'd like to tell our listeners?
Thanks so much for listening and for embracing me into this world. It was such an awesome thing to be a part of, and I hope to meet all of you in one way or another by continuing to do this job, which I love so much.
And before we leave, and we're still on air, just so you know, because I think we ended up tricking 1 or 2 voice actors with this, but we were wondering if you'd participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Absolutely.
Well, we were wondering if you would do a bump for us.
Okay. You got it.
All right. We usually do it live just in case there's any screw-ups. That's the funny part. So, but we were wondering if you could say, my name is, I do this, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
Okie dokie.
Whenever you're ready.
My name is Rachel Robinson. I play Urba Yun Fang in Final Fantasy 13, and you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan.
Perfect! Yay!
Thank you. Whew.
Yeah, you did fine. Don't worry.
All right.
No heart attacks here. But for everybody else listening, if you missed any of this interview, we will have it up later tonight or tomorrow. So make sure to keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want, nothing you don't.